Hey guys, I'm Jax, and I just saw Marvel Studios presents A Suicide Squad. Asterix. Now I know what you're thinking. What does the asterisk mean? Well, in this case, it means Thunderbolts. Asterix. But what does the Thunderbolts asterisk mean? Well, I can't say that here, but let me tell ya, you'll never see it coming. Until you watch the film, and then when they reveal it, you're like, yeah, no, that makes sense. But in non-spoilery terms, it really just does mean, like, it's the MCU's version of Suicide Squad. But which Suicide Squad? It is neither the worst film you've ever seen in your entire life or a genre-defining masterpiece. In classic MCU fashion, it is whoosh, just right in the middle. It is pretty good. But compared to the MCU's previous film, Captain America 4, which... Sorry, I threw up on my mouth remembering Captain America 4. It is a massive glow-up, if you will. I actually think this is as impressive a glow-up as Will Poulter's, if you can believe such a thing. Thunderbolts Asterix remembers what makes good MCU films good, and that is the camaraderie, the chemistry between its main characters, the way they bounce off and interact with each other, and that is where Thunderbolts Asterix excels. Oh boy, does it excel. It is such a fun, amazing time spent with the Thunderbolts. Asterix. Getting sick of saying the word Asterix. Thunderbolts, Asterix. I'm not going to say Asterix anymore. Asterix, I will. The film is so alive and fresh. It is fresh in a way that I didn't think an MCU film could be in its, what is this, I want to say the 79th film the MCU has made. It is just so fresh and alive and exciting because of the cast of characters and the way they are all so unique and separate, but they all have this one connective tissue that rings true throughout the entire film, and that is that they are all broken heroes slash anti-heroes slash mercenaries slash mostly they're just guys that shoot and punch. The villain even thematically connects to the broken but trying to rebuild and be better and to grow and to heal. And the way that the villain actually thematically connects to our Thunderbolts Asterix heroes is something that I feel like even some of the best MCU films don't really nail. The way that everything comes together on a thematic level, everything emotionally kind of works and comes together and feels like it's one single story. The plot is very simple and at times quite bare bones, but in the best way, because it gives our characters time to grow and to breathe, and you get time to just spend with them, just kind of hanging out or bickering and arguing or just kind of living and breathing as these characters, because the plot isn't convoluted and going all over the place and just trying to deal with all these different things and building all together. It's like, no, we are just dealing with 5 to 7-ish characters as they are all just broken individuals trying to heal and trying to be better. And how do they become better villain slash hero slash anti-hero Thunderbolts? Well, they all just have to do a thing together. They're all pushed into a situation at the start of the movie. That chick from Seinfeld, who's pretty much evil Nick Fury, is like, all of you people go and do a mission. But maybe that mission is not what they thought the mission was gonna be. And then they all have to team up. They potentially have to fight each other and then literally and metaphorically put their backs against one another and climb out of the situation that they are in. That is, if you've seen the film, you're like, that's actually really funny because it sounds like a metaphor, but it's like actually like what happens. And if you haven't seen it, that won't mean anything. This film is at its best and its strongest when they are just squabbling and bickering and just kind of hanging out together. The chemistry of this cast is elite. It's electrifying, it's super exciting, and most importantly, it's fun. I do think the first half of the film is maybe stronger than the back half, just because the way they all pushed into this situation together and the way they kind of bounce off each other and interact with each other is just so strong and so engaging. It's really, really fun, but it never kind of loses sight of the heart of the story and of the emotional depth of these characters. And in the third act, particularly in the last like 15-20 minutes, it kind of does a couple of twists and turns that I don't necessarily dislike, but it kind of goes in a weird angle where I'm like, I kind of either would have preferred it didn't go that route at all and kind of dealt with the kind of third act situation that they're in a different way, or done what they had done, which is quite different to the rest of the film, but just gone harder into it. It kind of softballs a couple of things that I think, because it's the type of film it is, it kind of left turns into this other thing, and it's afraid to deep dive into that. So I kind of would have preferred it to just go like headfirst and dive down into the realm that it opens up and really just go for broke. Whereas it kind of like holds its punches a little bit in that third act. I was so surprised by how well structured it was, well kind of thought out on a story writing level it was. And maybe it's just because I saw Cap 4 as the last Marvel film, so I was like, oh, we're doing this now, are we? I guess the films are just going to be borderline unwatchable and incoherent, whereas this was really cleverly structured, and so even with all my complaints in the third act, it thematically connects and works so beautifully to what the film is saying and doing as a whole. It tackles some really heavy, interesting themes, kind of going really deep the way the MCU kind of never does on kind of mental health and kind of trauma and grief and just kind of trying to deal with your past trauma and your past pains. The real hero of this film is its non-heroes. Florence Pugh stars and is our main Thunderbolts asterisk character as... I can't remember her name. It's Florence Pugh. You know, she's the new Black Widow. Oh boy, Florence Pugh with a, I want to say good Russian accent. I don't know if it's actually good or if I just like when she speaks kind of like in a vague Russian accent. I think I just quite like Florence Pugh. It's probably that, to be fair. But she is sensational in this movie, like jaw-droppingly sensational, just so charming and charismatic and likable. The film opens with her being really depressed with her mundane job. She clocks in, she murders a bunch of goons, she clocks out, and I'm like, oh boy, I have never related to a superhero more in my entire life. She's like doing a punch scene where she's fighting like 20 goons or whatever and killing them all or whatever, but she's like narrating being like, oh, I just clock in, do my job, have lunch, clock out, drink, go to bed, clock back into work. And I'm like, same Florence Pugh's Black Widow, same. I've never emotionally connected to a superhero more than Florence Pugh just hating her mundane 9-to-5 job. I essentially felt like I was Florence Pugh. Just, you know, less sexy, cool, charismatic, and charming in every single way. In a lot of ways, it was mostly just that I was like, yes, I also hate my job. Evil Cap, aka US Agent, has always been a massive favourite of mine. I absolutely love him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. One of my favourite parts, if not my favourite part of that entire show. So very good. Just to see him back as the arsehole, but maybe he's got more going on. Just absolutely loved it. He was fantastic in this. Red Guardian. I mean, David Harbour. Everyone's favourite daddy from Stranger Things. That felt and sounded weird. I phrased that wrong. What I meant to say is everybody's favourite daddy from Stranger Things. I just said the same thing again. What I'm trying to say is that in Stranger Things, he's the daddy that we all love. No, once again, I feel like I said the same thing. David Harbour's pretty good at acting, though, right? A hot take. He's good. And he's also good in this. Ghost is also in this film, and I almost want to say that she's underdeveloped, but at the same time, I kind of feel like Kevin Feige was pretty nice to even invite her to this party with all the other cool kids. Sure, she doesn't get as much as the rest of the characters in terms of story or arcs or personality, but at the same time, she's lucky to have been invited to Thunderbolts Asterix at all. Also, Taskmaster is in this film, and in honor of how the film treats her, I will treat her accordingly. And by that I mean... And last but not least, Bucky is in this film, and oh boy, if you love Bucky, you'll love Bucky in this film. Overall, the Thunderbolts Asterix is good. Asterix, probably not as good as like it probably could have been. Asterix, way better than it definitely could have been had it been as bad as Captain America 4. Asterix, I don't know what you want. It's the MCU's 274th film. Asterix, have I been using asterisk correctly? Or am I just saying a thing and then instead of like a full stop, I'm just doing an asterisk and then just like doing another sentence? I don't know. That being said, asterisks?